Let's talk about coiling and uncoiling on the serve, because there's so much talk about leg drive and bending the knees and exploding up that we might forget that there's actually rotation that should be occurring during the proper service motion. It's like a corkscrew going up. So the first thing you want to know is that you can only uncoil if you coil first. So at some point in your serve, you want your opponent to be able to see your back. So while I'm preparing for my own personal serve, my opponent can see my chest. But then I turn my back and they can now see my back. Then I toss and I hit. Now I have a low toss, so I'm going to show my back before I toss and I hit. But if you have a higher toss, then you're going to toss first and then turn your back. So when you show your back to your opponent depends on the height of your toss. If your toss is lower, like J.J. Wolf and Nick Kyrgios, then you're going to turn your back, then release the ball. If your toss is high, like Felix Auger-Aliassime or Sabalenka, you're going to toss and then turn your back. But your opponent needs to see your back. Now that you've coiled, now we need to uncoil. But here's the thing. We don't want continuous uncoiling as we hit the ball. In fact, we want to stop the uncoiling as we're hitting, and that accelerates the hitting arm. It's called a reactive break. The energy goes from the body to the racket and you serve faster than if you just continue rotating. Let me explain it with an analogy. I want you to imagine a whip, like, right? I've got a whip here. If I take a whip and it's just dangling and I just start spinning, it doesn't matter how fast I spin. The tip of the whip is never going to snap. It's not going to make any noise, right? How do I get the tip of the whip to snap? I get the crack of the whip by stopping the handle, by moving it and then pulling it back and stopping. That energy gets transferred to the end of the whip and it breaks the sound barrier, and that's the crack you hear when it actually cracks the sound barrier. It goes faster than the speed of sound. What does that mean for our body when we're serving? Your body is the handle. The tip of the racket is the tip of the whip. So when you coil and then you begin uncoiling and you stop your body, the energy has to go somewhere and it goes into the hitting arm. Now, how do you stop your body? You take your tossing arm, you reach out toward the net, and then you bring it in against the body. That's why I'm always teaching you, if you watch my serve videos, to finish with your arms crossed. This is called a Power X. Vic Braden, Power X. Look at J.J. Wolf serve. Look how his body is facing the back fence. And now look at him uncoil on the serve, but watch his finish. See his finish? Look, his body completely stopped as he hit the ball. And now his arms finish in an X. That's the feeling you should have when you're done. You should feel like you're hugging yourself or you have an X with your arms. In fact, if you film yourself from the back, I always tell people to wave to the camera with their tossing hand, or make your tossing hand smell like you're hitting armpit, because you're actually going to hug yourself. I have a problem with people who are teaching, put the tossing hand behind you. Toss the ball and then throw it behind you. Because coaches who teach that, to be honest, they're not helping the student crack the whip. Where the body rotates, they uncoil, they stop the body, and the arm accelerates. So let me hit a couple serves here. My goal is to show my back to my opponent, and then as I'm uncoiling, to try to stop the body's rotation, and that accelerates the hitting arm. Now, if you'd love to use the same strategies the pros use to win their matches, then you got to pick up the Singles Playbook by Fuzzy Yellow Balls. It's all broken down by the type of opponent you play against, and it's over 50 pages, strategy after strategy. And what's really cool is each page comes with a QR code, so you can watch a video of exactly how to use each strategy. Just use my link in the description and pinned in the first comment. And if you're looking for people in your local area to play matches against or practice with, or you want to find a league at your level, or you want to find a coach who's close to you who can help you with your game, then use my link for PlayYourCourt. And it's playyourcourt.com/2-minute-tennis. When you use my link to sign up, you get 50% off. Show your back to your opponent at some point in the serve. Get your body to rotate. Now, some people might say, well, why don't we just start with our back? Well, that doesn't create tension between the upper body and lower body. You want your opponent to see your chest at the beginning and then rotate so your shoulders are turned past your hips. That creates tension, and that's a coil, and then you can uncoil. But as you uncoil in the serve, bring the tossing arm against the body and finish in an X with your arms, with your body very still. That's how you're going to hit your best serves, and there's no doubt you're going to gain confidence, win more matches, and play much better tennis. This is Ryan Reedy from 2minutetennis.net. You got this.